What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold action. This time it's me spawning in the top of the map. Yay! I haven't done one of these sort of videos in a while. Wait, let me just double check I think, yeah, we'll stay on the right side at the top. Yeah, I haven't done one of these type of videos in a while where I walk through from just my own perspective and we just sort of tell you the thought process going through the entire game. Normally, if I do these ones, I'm often like taking off the fog and checking things, but we're gonna take you through a matchup that I've been hearing is very, very difficult for Ra. And let me explain first and foremost why it's difficult. Well, the big problem with Ra is I can't scout. Ra is the only god in the game that you cannot figure out what your opponent is doing early on. Now, I could potentially send my priest forward here, get an obelisk up and see something in his main base. Like, I could probably do that. So maybe I'm telling a bit of a fib as to what I can see and what I can't see, but that would require me to make a couple of sacrifices early on. And then even if I know what's coming, then I have to sort of somehow figure out how to adapt to that in the moment. And it's just kind of, it's a little bit tough. So what I've been cooking here is, well, you'll note, is I haven't built a monument. I did get myself pickaxe, but no monument. The whole thought process, reasoning, thinking here is I got to get up defensive buildings around my gold mine. I got to get myself to the classical age really quickly. I'm getting my temple up with my priest here so that the villagers got a little bit more time. And I'm basically just trying to be in the classical age with an extra priest out by around about 3 minutes and 34 seconds. Is that right? Something like that. That would be ideal. Or I don't even know what's going on. Maybe I had some idle time on my town center. I don't know. Let's just ignore that. But it should be a 3 minute 34 second advance time here. So we had some idle time. Let's just ignore all of that. Just cut there. Cut. Unless my math is off, which it could be. But anyways, we're going to be going through Ptah. And the whole reason for this is I need to basically need to be ready to defend automatons super early on here. So if he wants to go for that 3 minute rush, I've already got myself my priests out. I got my pharaoh. I'm going to go for some obelisks. And if I see him hit the next age, I will run these priests straight back in here. And we're just going to start healing up our villagers so he can't do any damage to us. And then we're going to have a very tough game in front as we're trying to defend and go from there. Now, he doesn't advance, so I drop my monument and I go, okay, well, this means he's doing some sort of an economic advance. So I've already been able to kind of figure out that things are a little bit different here, which is totally fine. And now I have to start thinking, all right, well, what can we do with a fast advance? Well, we could go and hit him. We can go and attack him, but unfortunately that doesn't get us a whole lot. So maybe the best idea here is actually just to drop a town center. That's my thought process at the moment. So that's what we're going to go for. I'm going to grab relics. Hopefully there's something that's nice here. Cathar of Apollo will help me get my town center up a little bit quicker as I can run to the location a bit faster. And we're going to search over onto this left side and try and find resources. I already know that this town center is amazing because it's got 2 water buffaloes on it. I've got the berries in my main base as well. I see myself in a back gold mine. So yeah, this is completely valid, a really nice way to play this sort of situation. And in fact, one of the best situations to be in for Ra. And you guys will probably note here that generally when I'm playing Egyptian, I would have already started the talent center. I'm probably 30 seconds into completing my talent center in most matchups. So I'm 30 seconds behind the 8 ball here. Because I had to play around the Chronos Rush. This isn't the end of the world. Like, this is just, it's not the end of the world. Where like you 2 villages behind, you were still in a completely valid, completely fine position. And we can play this out from here. This is totally fine. This is just the nature of this matchup, and we don't want to be losing in 4 minutes to an automaton rush. So we have to respect it. On top of this, also, we get another nice relic here, Tower of Cestus, going to be helping us against some myth units with our towers, though probably not going to be coming in too much of a issue here. Now I just have to figure out what exactly is my opponent doing here. He sends his Prometheans forward. He didn't go for any sort of time shift. or anything like that. I've got my talent center up now, and we're off to the races here effectively. So we can get our water buffaloes, and I'm still going. I don't really know what he's doing. He could go for some sort of an all-in at the moment, which would be somewhat scary because I don't have anything up. But I do have Priest. I do have the Wadget. He'd have to dive my base. I've got my gold mine nice and protected. I've got the chickens here. These villages are nice and protected. And I can start figuring out what to do next as I get my monument up over here. We are well and truly okay. And because he hasn't shown me anything, I'm already thinking he's 2 town centers. And I can start thinking about the next pathway through this game, which will basically be me getting to the heroic age pretty quickly. You can see I put an armory down and a barracks. The barracks is just in case. There's one sort of offbeat strategy that I don't think many Kronos players are going to be super aware of, but it hits much later than, like, you don't have to go and attack your opponent. Basically, it's more of like a timing attack than like anything else, and you want to hide it as much as you can. My opponent here is a 100% win rate Smurf, by the way. So I didn't really know this in the moment, but he's a very, very strong player, I think. So we'll see what's going to come through here. So I built some spearmen out. Reason being is if he went 2 TC, and I do see his army over here. If he went 2 TC fast heroic for like Contarius, I'll have some units to answer. But I just need to sort of scout exactly what's going on. I need to know, am I playing against the 1 talent center all in? So I am thinking about that offbeat strategy that I'm talking about. I don't expect players to be doing it very often. It's kind of new to some degree. I don't even know if it's known by most people, but basically I need to go and spot what he's doing. Now I do see 3 Murmillos here. This is enough to tell me that he is definitely 2 TC. There's no way he would be 1 TC, 3 Murmillos, and then doing something really weird. I don't know. I'll just sit back and play defense, but I need to scout, see the middle of the map, see where my gold mines are. And what you'll note here is that the most important thing about this matchup is simply playing slow. When you're playing a 2 TC versus 2 TC matchup against Kronos, it is to play as slow as you possibly can. Basically, so long as we have a gold mine, we are good to go. So I've got this gold mine back here. That's happy days. I got this gold mine over here. That's going to be the first movement that I'm going to be looking to claim. And I've got myself Sobek coming up momentarily. I've got 2 monuments in. I'm going to be going for even more monuments here as well once I've actually advanced, and we'll be good to go. I do see him popping over onto this side, but I'm already in, ready to defend, so not really scared. I see this town center hasn't been grabbed, and I just want to check over onto this side. I'm looking for a town center or a settlement over here, making sure that hasn't been grabbed. These are the really important things to sort of be aware of, is where your opponent is, what they're doing. And I go, okay, so no problems here, which does mean he will have a town center either here or over here. So I will obviously send my spearmen straight onto this right side, and then I'll rotate around onto the other side to just check what's going on. If he's 1 town center here, now I'm starting to get very, very concerned because I still haven't seen anything attacking me, and the timing will hit to completely break my position. But I see the town center now. I even see some farms, which makes me go, oh, well, this is really, really interesting. That slows him down quite a bit there, so I'm happy with that. I don't mind losing a spearman here to get this information in. This is a small loss for a huge amount of information. And I go, okay, great. Now I know that a heroic age is coming in, and I build the priests. Now these priests here, they're actually not. They are for this AT, don't get me wrong, but or for myth units, don't get me wrong, but they're actually here to combat chaos. This is one thing that I know that a lot of Egyptian players will struggle against, especially if you're going for barracks units. I'll drop my next monument over here as well. Upgrades should be coming through. I probably should have pre-queued this shaft mine. I don't know if I forgot to or not. But yeah, these priests here are actually for healing more so than actually dealing with the satyr. I'm going Sobek to actually deal with the satyr. I'm going to be getting myself Bitsukos. You can see 3 monuments. I got a 4th monument coming up as well, for as many of these bad boys as I can, and I can get some scouting done with my rock. So happy days. One upgrade that I totally forgot about in this game was this one. So pretty big mistake there on my part. And yeah, and because he's gone heroic age here, I also know he's got no timings at the moment. If he wants to break this position here, he needs to have a palace with some destroyers or like full spend on... No, I don't think there's any way he can actually break me here. So we don't have to rush this Migdol up, but we get 1 Migdol up. I will be going for a second one here as well. Reason being, I need to play around deconstruction. He can walk forward with a huge amount of units, kill this town center, break through, and then kill off, deconstruct the Migdol, and then kill off my gold mine. So we need more Migdols. And the good thing here is, one rule for Kronos when playing against Atlantean, when you're against the Egyptian, one rule for when you're playing against Kronos is if they go Hyperion, we actually want more. Well, we definitely want Migdol units at the very least. Of course, we want to build some barracks units as well, but we definitely don't want to go full barracks units. If they go Rhea, we can go full barracks units. So against Hyperion, mix in Migdol units. Against Rhea, you're okay to skip the Migdol units. Even playing as Ra, you can sort of follow that sort of idea. I also seemingly have forgotten to empower my monument to the pharaohs, so I'm getting a little bit less favor than I otherwise should. But we're going to be able to get some of our bad boys out here, and I see his army, and I basically just go, all right, time for another Migdol stronghold. Like I said, I don't want to be losing this position. If it's half completed and he deconstructs, we're still going to be completely fine here. I got these Bitsukos here that can start sniping the satyr from afar. They are Petzebek as well, so I got the upgrade. Now they got 26 range, so he cannot enter here. And like I said, I am just playing a game of don't get close to me. Now, I move over onto this gold mine, which this is greedy. I see his army on the left side, so I feel like it's okay. But this is really greedy. I'm going to just flash the map because I didn't see this in the game. But he has an oracle here. I put the wall over onto this side. I also want these water buffalo here. But this is not protected in the slightest. He's going to disappear, and this will be the first moment of the game that I take some pretty serious damage. So... yeah, big mistake here. You don't need to take risks in this matchup. Losing villages is not something that really should be happening, especially as Ra, where you can grab Skin of the Rhino and you can grab this tech here as well, survival equipment. I do have an escape path here, luckily, with the wooden wall finishing up, so it's not going to be the end of the world as he pops through over here. And I go, oh, bugger. Let's run. Let's finish this wall. Let's get out of here. Luckily for me, I only lose 1 or 2 villages, so it's not the end of the world, but it is some idle villager time. And I can use this opportunity now to actually move forward and drop a Migdol on the front here. So I am looking for another gold mine. And this is a risky move here. So the hardest part about playing Petsukos is... basically positioning before the fact. We need to be very, very aware of where our army is, where our opponent's army is, and all the other good stuff. So I'm wandering forward here. My Petzebek are going to be behind a Migdol stronghold all of the time. That's how we should play. In fact, I shouldn't even be moving them here. They should actually be back here, or maybe where they are, or behind this Migdol. That would be the best place for them. But we get the Migdol up here, and I need to be looking for... effectively, another Migdol on this position. It's always going to be 2 Migdols, and we're good to go. Unfortunately, I took way too many villages forward. I do spot him over here. I get some citizen kills, stop his town center. He clicks deconstruction, and chaos comes in as we shifting sands back, and we're out of here. It's fine. I don't really lose a whole lot here. He lost his first chaos. I can heal everyone up. We're good to go. I do get a whole bunch of idle time on these villages, but I will be able to move back forward now. I'm throwing up more Migdols because I need them. And you can see there's a pretty big difference in population, but my position here is so absurdly strong with the Petsukos that he can't really break through and we can charge in here and try and take out these units. Those hero Caraballas that need to go down, they're going to be getting some good damage done onto me. And we get our Migdol up, which is going to be enough for us to now start looking to push forward over here again. Apparently, I'm idling villagers in the middle of this position. Not the best defense from me, but I do manage to survive that big push. And we can move forward, drop another Migdol onto this position, get ourselves secured. We did a little bit of damage onto him as well, mind you. I didn't use... Well, a lot of people use that... at the top level, use that Locust Swarm to kill off the army. If I used it on this position here, I probably would have won the fight a lot better. But, I was seeing the town center going up. I wanted to stop that. Now we can grab ourselves this gold mine. And my next plan here, as I continue to build these Petzebek out, my next plan here is going to be to claim this gold mine. I'm literally just trying to rotate around the map, rotate towards this town center, and claim as much of the map as I possibly can here. I could potentially consider going Mythic Age here for Osiris or for Horus, but I think the best play is to just continue to make use of my Migdols and controlling more of the map if I can. So yeah, we heal everyone up. My army is way out of position here. So this is a big mistake for me. And I don't think I really understood it in this game, but I've definitely learned after it, and we'll talk about it in one of the upcoming fights. He can't take any fights here because he's got no heroes, so we are completely fine to be zapping him down. And now I do the move forward onto this Migdol. I still have to play around deconstruction, so I need 2 Migdols on this spot. I should have put them up in tandem here. So 1 Migdol, 2 Migdols. And these units here should be chilling back over on this side. So yeah, this is... Of course, I'm getting upgrades and things as well. I don't have the gold for this next Migdol. I'm building priests as well, which probably don't need them with this amount of Petzebek. But yeah, I'm short on the gold. My opponent apparently has 3,000 gold in the bank. Don't ask me why, what's going on there. Probably could be on the way to the Mythic Age or something. But even if he does, I'm still completely fine with that position. I can just retreat back up and we're good. But yeah, I think this here is, yeah, look at this is such bad positioning. Put the Petzebek back here in this position and they're like super strong, and he catches me out here, as this basically means now he can enter the fight before I start zapping him. And he's got his Arcus that are going to be able to be in range. Deconstruction onto the Migdol stronghold as I have to now pull back. I'm going to drop another Migdol up onto this back spot. But yeah, this is not ideal. My Petzebek numbers did get somewhat erased there with that bad positioning. And I went from effectively having a really cruisy victory here into this is just a gigantic throw for me. I'm losing villages. I lost my position. I lost my army. And yeah, now we are in full panic. So I'm trying to grab this town center, which I shouldn't have been grabbing here. This is not a good town center grab, especially because, like, what am I going to do? Like, it's just not a good town center grab. I finally decide to run here, but I need to get my army back out, and now we're in full defense. Now, the one saving grace here is I still have this gold mine with a Migdol, and he just used deconstruction, so there's still 2 minutes remaining on that one. I'm going to try and get the town center back again. And I do still have this gold mine over on this side that I can come and grab at sort of any point. It's pretty safe. Of course, I've been raided on it once, so I know he's got vision on it to some degree with an oracle over there. But yeah, I can go over there at any point, as I'm trying to finish this town center off, but his Satyr numbers are now really big, and I don't have any Petzebek remaining, so I don't have a good answer for them. Well, I have one, but like one is not that useful. Multiple is very useful, but one is not that useful. But taking a little bit of a good fight here as he charges forward. I need to get away from those Satyr as he gets a lot of good defense on. And okay, so part of the reason why the town center here isn't a terrible grab is just because it's going to delay him. He wants to grab this position. I'm going to be able to grab some of the food behind this. He has to get some destroyers out, etc., to actually break through here. But we're going to be able to just get into full healing. And I also don't have gold anymore, so I actually say, all right, I've got all this favor. I don't want to sit on on max favor for no real reason. I'm going to get some Wadgets out. Wadgets aren't a terrible answer for the Satyr. So if I get a whole bunch of Wadgets out, we can try and deal with this sort of problem. But now he's got the guys, and I have to start thinking about sacrificing this position to some degree. I could try and get some damage on, but I'm definitely considering running here. I do have a whole bunch of Axemen as well, but he's got the Kyriballister behind, so I can't really deal with those all too well. But we're just in full panic mode, okay? So yeah, we threw. That's the rub of it. You throw, you have to go, okay, well, now we're playing from behind. Let's try and just limit as much of the pain as we possibly can, and we're playing for the late game. So what does that mean? What does playing for the late game mean? It basically means that we don't want to take any serious fights or any really bad fights at all. We want to be making sure we're hiding underneath migdols or underneath fortresses and just delaying losses, while also ensuring that we're going to set up for our gold mine over here, set up our trade route over here, and make sure all of this is as safe as it possibly can be. Because we're about to run out of this gold mine. Our army is out of position to defend over here. I can give the map over to the Kronos. I can give this town center, I can give this town center, but I can't give this corner. This is what's really important. So if I can get that corner up, I can get myself all well defended and things like that. I'm actually now going into some elephants here. Don't ask me what my plan is with my unit composition. I just felt like elephants were going to be a good idea. I got my Wadgets out now at the very least, so I got some pretty scary front line here. And he is going to be charging onto this left side. He does have the deconstruction, so I mean, if he wants to use that, no problems. He's got implode, and I'm gonna run my villagers away from the implode, run my army back. No problems here. He can kill a couple of units. Not the best of implodes from him, so we avoid all of that pain. So that's really good for us. And it actually also delays him a little bit because he sucks his own army in. And he's going to charge up onto this side. Still has that deconstruction there available. I have now clicked up through Horus, so I'm looking to get some value back with my own Tornado. Losing the Migdol, I just have to accept it. I'm going for Masons and Fortified Town Centers and all the good stuff that comes from that. And he's going to be full Iron, full Champion, and all the other good stuff that comes with all that. But yeah, we're going to attempt to hold here. I'm surprised he didn't drop the... Oh, he doesn't have the favor for it. But I'm surprised he didn't drop the deconstruction on that Migdol there. But this is going to be a nice little defensive position for us. So luckily for us, he's charging in here. He's fighting underneath a Migdol. I've got a full army of very, very strong units with the Chariot Archers and everything else. Chariot Archers as well aren't terrible versus the Satyr. They've got 50% pierce armor, so... And we got the range on the Satyrs, so we can actually take them out. And we finally have limited the numbers of these Satyr. And once those go down, then that's us in a really good spot military-wise. Now, we are still hurting economically speaking, but if we take a quick look at my armory situation, I'm missing a couple of armory upgrades. So I do still have to catch up on those, but getting to full bronze is actually enough here versus full iron... full iron Atlantean, so full bronze, basically full champion, full bronze Egyptian army can compete with full champion, full iron Atlantean army to some degree, especially with Horus. I take this fight knowing that I've got this Tornado coming in. He drops a nice heroization for us right in the middle of that fight, and I can clean up everything. So that was a huge swing for us to help bring us back into this game. So there we go. That's a big spike for us, but I don't have any pushing power here. And this is kind of the beautiful... I think this is the beautiful thing about these sort of Mythic Age god powers is, yeah, I killed off his army. He's going to be able to rebuild it. I can't push here on that one. So there's nothing for us there. So what I can do, though, however, is I can take my final gold mine on the bottom. I got my markets all set up. I have the most beautiful of Matrius markets set up over on this spot. He's still got this Oracle up on this spot. But anyways, now I'm just looking to set up on this position. Like I said, I'm playing for the late game, right? I'm setting up on this position with as many migdolls as I possibly can. Siege works coming through as well, so I can get some siege in to actually push back a little bit. And I'm basically just trying to get my upgrades in and doing what I can. So War Elephant on the way is somewhat of a siege unit. I'm getting champion elephants. I got champion chariot archers. To some degree, full chariots, wadgets, and sitting over here is a nice way to go. Yeah, now we finally remember to get sun-dried mud brick. This one's hurt us. I think I would have had a lot more resources here. But yeah, now sun-dried mud brick is on the way. And the next upgrade to actually be grabbing here, while I have managed to almost take the town center down, the one scary part here is going to be this position. So there's a really, really big upgrade to keep yourself going in these positions, which is this one. Advanced fortifications. Everybody forgets about this tech. It's a must grab. It's one of the best techs in the game. Gives you, especially for sun-dried mud brick Egyptian, gives you 50% more damage on your buildings, as well as some more hack armor. So yeah, he's going to charge forward here, not really understanding that this isn't a position for him to attack. I've got to do some garrison micro to stay alive here. I am definitely struggling for resources. I've dropped my rains, so I don't really have another rain here to help me out. I don't want to put more villagers on food than I can. He drops a deconstruction on my back migdol, but we've already got 3 up on this position, so I'm really not two up on this position with a 3rd coming. I'm not concerned here. If he kills off my army, he kills off my army, but he's going to be losing a lot of units here trying to break this spot, and I'm going to keep on spamming migdolls here to basically keep this spot alive. And so long as... What is this relic here? Blanket of Emperor. So that would have been a nice one to actually have. Don't know why I didn't pick it up. But so long as I can protect this trade route, we're good. 90 gold a trip. That's perfectly reasonable. Really, really nice. And... yeah, we've held. He's losing units here. He's got a lot of resources, so he really does have infinite pushing power here. But like, what does it matter? So long as I can hold, we're good. Upgrades to come through. I do realize I need to go into Spearman here. One of the big advantages of playing for Horus is that these Spearmen become really, really strong once you have Spear of Horizon, as well as Horus Spear. I'm still missing this one as well, but that can come through whenever. And yeah, but effectively here it's a gold game type situation. I do note that his army is looking very, very pierce heavy. So one thing you can do here is actually make siege towers, and they can frontline your opponent a little bit. It's quite kind of similar to how Kronos or Atlantean can go destroyers, and they can frontline your chariot archers. We'll get another migdol up, as this position is unpushable without significant amounts of fire siphon. If he goes for a whole bunch of fire siphon though, then I should be able to defend with the spearmen I'm making and all the other good stuff. But yeah, still not quite enough food income as... Did I find some food somewhere, or did I just build a whole bunch of farms? I got 25 farms, so I found this food over here. I'm just trying to get every little bit in. And you can see if my armory as well, as I was talking about, I don't have iron, but I do have full bronze. And he's got nearly full iron himself. So perfectly fine situation here to continue along. And I'm still kicking myself from earlier on in this game. I was in such a good spot. I don't know how I can butcher that spot so badly, but anyways, he gets his town center back up, and you can see up on the top, he doesn't have fortified town centers yet. So this is another little trick here, is if you're on the 2 town center position, just get that fortified town centers in, and you're only 10 population behind your opponent. But nonetheless, gonna come over here and drop the walls. I'm getting some more Betzebek in. I could go for Avengers here as well, which wouldn't be a terrible idea. I just don't have the food for it at the moment, as my spearmen can frontline just a little bit more. Did I not get the tech? I must have forgotten it. So I'm missing out on bonus damage versus the Contarius, but alas, no one said I'm perfect here, but that's fine. The whole idea is just what we're doing here. So now we go for a little cheeky one. In the late game, once you get to these positions, you can start risking this. Siege Towers pushing a town center while defending over on this spot. because he hasn't really got any pushing power here, we are perfectly content with just effectively just sitting here with a minimal amount of pop and trying to do something. So I do manage to come over onto this spot, start sieging the town center. He doesn't have any answer for this over here. He actually has to send units. In fact, I note, if you note, he's got 1 hack damage dealing unit here. So yeah, siege towers are going to be really, really strong. Meanwhile, now I can start taking advantage of sun-dried mud brick, and we're going to start looking to Migdol push over here and clean this up. I drop a 60 favor rain because I have no resources and I want the resources. One other little small thing here is I'm only building camel caravans out of 1 market. Reason is I don't want that food drain. I've got plenty of gold, so the food drain is not something I can afford. Anyways, we kill off the town center with the siege towers. We get our Migdol stronghold up, and we are slowly going to be breaking through over on that left there with more and more Migdols. As he does come through with some destroyers, I will slowly shank them down. He does manage to kill off the Migdol, unfortunately, but the destroyers will go down, and we'll be able to rebuild. As we can get this Migdol up and slowly start pushing it onto this spot. So my basic goal now is I've got to cut his trade route. So he was trying to cut mine, but I had it fully defended. So now I just have to cut his. I know his trade route's going to be over in this corner because his town center is over here. He could have one like over here for some silly reason, but if I don't see it over on that left side, I'll start looking off the right side even more. But we grab this Migdol here. We're going to be going for the town center while still pushing over onto this side. Almost managing to kill the town center as well. He still doesn't have fortified town centers. I think he just forgot. But that's also like me just forgetting this tech. So things happen in these games. I can start grabbing more upgrades. And yeah, at these sort of positions now, this is where Egyptian is in full swing. Doesn't matter how many resources we are behind or how many resources we don't have in the bank or whatever. There's almost nothing that the Chronos can do at this point to break through all of this. Like, he effectively needs a whole bunch of fire types. He does break through over here with another nice deconstruction. Hitting my trade route is the way for him to win this game. So I do need to be very aware of this. So I'm taking a bit of a risk here. Now, if he does charge over onto this spot, one thing you can do is grab your camel caravans and just idle them somewhere. Just right click over here and make sure that they don't die while he's sitting in your spot killing you off, and then you can start them up again a little bit later. Not the end of the world to have a little bit of idle time on those. As now I've spotted his own trade route, and I think right now he's out of gold. Yeah, he's out of gold. So he's only got trade. I've only got trade. I mean, there's a little bit of gold left here. But yeah, this game is going to come down to trade route control. And all of that other good stuff. But we get our town center up now, full population. I have managed to get 1 iron upgrade as well, but like I said, it's not that important. And we can slowly work our way over onto this spot, and it's just Migdol galore here. We got 10 Migdols. This is the strength of Sobek. So if you go this god, make sure you get that sun-dried mud brick as soon as you can. Like, you should grab it just as you hit the heroic age, not later like I did here. But now we've got enough favor for more myth units as well. Wadgets, we can go for another rain if we want. But I mean, resource wise, I almost don't care. I'm more thinking about map control than resources. One tech here I also forgot was boiling oil. I'll grab that at some point, but yeah, boiling oil is a really big one. He tries to charge in here into my main base. This is a weak spot for me because the caravans are sort of weak here. I should put a Migdol up on this front here as well, but I put one in my main base to make sure this town center is nice and safe. But we did manage to kill off his army yet again. You can see he's going to be at full pop the entirety of the game, but like I said, it doesn't matter. We don't care. We just get us our position, and we're good to go. A couple of Petsabek to come out, and we just continue along in this game like nothing is the matter. Really, my one worry is if I get broken through here, and after a while, his resources will start to go down. Doesn't have a trade route anymore. He's got 8 llama caravans remaining, so no trade route remaining, and the game is effectively I mean, it could still go poorly for us. I mean, if he can kill off all of our trade route here, then life will be very tough. I should probably start thinking about kicking up a little bit more economy here. Did I find some more hunt or something? Or did I actually build more farms? I did throw more farms down. So an extra rain here actually wouldn't be a terrible idea with like manually queuing up an extra like 10, 20 camel caravans. And now I realize, okay, Migdal stronghold on the front. This position was weak, so let's get that sorted out. I have a relic here that heals these guys. Why are they healing? Oh, dark water heals these guys. I don't even know. There you go. But nonetheless, we're both actually hurting here. He's got no gold left, so he can't replenish his army. I can, and we can slowly start walking into his main base here. Literal Migdal creeping all the way forward, and I do manage to somehow bring this one back from the brink. But the takeaway here from this game, is play slow, get your gold mines, don't force town centers. More Migdals is more Migdals, and there's no way for him to break these sort of positions. This is your goal here versus the Atlantean, versus the Kronos as Egyptian. You don't have to do anything crazy special. You're the defender in this matchup. I've been seeing in the what's it called, on the win rates that Egyptian's been struggling in this matchup, so I wanted to try and help everyone out with this one a little bit. Not the cleanest game, but the opening was very, very nice. So the idea here is, I think you want to skip the monument to the villages, get yourself a nice clean I think it's 334. You go 4 minutes, is this the first advance, take off 18, 344? I think it's 344. Maybe you go one villager before then. Anyways, the point is a nice quick advance with a nice quick temple with the priest coming out. So you have 3 heroes. If the Kronos Rush comes, then you've got the ability to heal the villagers while you run them away, and you're not going to lose a villager there, basically. And then you're good to play a defense, and then you can go for your town center. If he runs, if he keeps attacking you, you're going to go for some barracks units and play defense, and then you can go for your town center a little bit later. No problems. If you've got a really rubbish second gold mine, then you have to maybe play a little bit different, but still the idea is going to be get 2 Migdals down on your gold mine, wherever it may be, and play from that. Like that's your effective position, and you can slowly push for more gold mines and things like that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this game. If you did, make sure you hit the subscribe button, leave a comment with any sort of problem matchups you're having, and I'll try and find one that's entertaining and give you guys some ideas. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.